All right, hello everybody. Rachel here from Onchain Media, and I'm here today to unpack a wild day that we just had in the crypto space. So number one, we hit a massive milestone with Bitcoin exceeding $100,000. Let's go take a look at the chart. And here we are. We're at $101,000 right now. I actually co-hosted an event in San Francisco this evening, and it went up to $103,000 while we were live there. This really is a historic moment, folks. I mean, for the past several years that I've been in the space, I feel like this moment has just been so highly anticipated. It's just so incredible to actually have made it to this milestone. And it's kind of one of those moments, like a where were you kind of moment, you know? And yeah, I'm just so grateful that I got to spend that moment, with my friends in person in San Francisco, and then actually hosted a live Twitter space celebrating it. It was incredible. You could feel the electricity in the air. So now, on the other side of the token, we had another massive event today in our industry. Hawk2a's Hailey Welch launched a meme coin today. We all know the meme Hawk2a. Well, Hailey Welch, the woman behind the meme, launched a crypto meme coin today, insisting it was not a cash grab. So Hailey Welch presents her own meme coin. Hailey Welch, the new internet celebrity. For those who don't know, in the video, Hailey was asked to say a move in bed that would drive a man crazy. And she responded with the now famous expression, Hawk2a. So, soon after this, she had a rise to fame, became basically virally appearing on TikTok, garnering worldwide media attention. So while doing an episode of her podcast, Talk2a, with the billionaire entrepreneur Mark Cuban, Hailey announced the release of her upcoming meme coin. The new coin was launched on Solana. It was to be distributed to followers through an allow list campaign. I really like this article here by the Cryptonomist. Beware of meme coins launched by famous personalities. In this particular area of the crypto world, a distinction must be made between meme coins launched by a community and those launched by famous personalities. The same celebrities often have no idea what cryptocurrencies are, but they rely on external agencies that manage the public sale. Even in the case of the girl Hawk2a, we strongly believe that this is yet another case of legalized fraud promoted on X at the expense of newcomers. When you have a celebrity, when you have someone coming in with a limited knowledge of the space, it's a dangerous game you're playing because they're riding this wave of fame, coming into the space, obviously to make money. I mean, there's an article saying, Fortune Crypto says Hailey Welch launches crypto meme coin. She insists it's not a cash grab. I mean, what other reason do you have? I mean, obviously, it didn't really seem like it was to make an impact. I don't know. There are a lot of things that were fishy about it. Yeah, look at this, you guys. So token was launched, went up, climbed all the way to $500 million, and then plummeted all the way down to under $60 million. This all happened. This was extremely fast. In approximately 20 minutes, these events unfolded. Now, a lot of us were watching in real time. I know many of us, I was out at an event in San Francisco that I was co-hosting. We're all celebrating Bitcoin surpassing 100K. Simultaneously, the Hawk2a debacle is unfolding. This was absolutely insane to watch today. We're in the bull run. We're here. Things are moving very fast. A lot is happening and compiling all at once, it seems, hour to hour. Let's go to Hailey's profile real quick. All right. 4 hours ago, Hailey posts, "Come by, y'all. Here's the space. 122,000 people tuned in. This all happened today." And normally I don't make content like this. This is not my typical style of creating. This is just too big. I feel like this is something that should be talked about. When there are bad actors in the space, when there are people who are taking advantage of the newcomers, of the individuals who don't know any better, they're prying on your emotions. This needs to be talked about. 22,000 people tuned in for this Twitter space. There are some moments that are like jaw-dropping. Like I could not believe the damage control, how this team handled this with zero accountability, zero empathy for the people who lost all of their money today. It is a disgrace. I'm glad that these guys came up and spoke because it's kind of like, we know who not to work with. We know who not to trust. They completely outed themselves as bad actors. This guy right here, Doc Hollywood. Oh my God. There were people I knew who were live on this Twitter space who could not believe how the crisis management was just so disrespectful, tone deaf, really just lacking any sort of empathy, deflecting whenever possible. I mean, CoffeeZilla came up and we're all just like, yes, like he's actually speaking some truth, because it was just a mountain of BS. Nothing was being said that said anything about accountability, anything about the individuals who lost money today. And, unfortunately, that ends up being newcomers a lot of the time, people who aren't as educated, who fall into these traps. And I find that really sad, because then that's their impression of our space forever. If you're watching this, if you're not in the crypto industry, just know it's a major problem for us who are trying to actually create positive change on a global scale. It's a big problem. We actually want to make the world a better place and completely revamp our financial systems. Look at Base, look at Coinbase, completely doing things as ethically as possible, doing things the right way. In all that hard work, a lot of us are trying to go in that direction. One of my favorite books, this lives on my desk, Green Pilled, Regenerative Crypto Economics, you guys. What we're trying to do, a lot of us in this space, is to create a better future, better financial systems where individuals actually have a shot at building wealth. And just looking at another article here, the Hawk token debacle, how celebrity-driven hype corrupts crypto's promise. This all unfolded and I was like, okay, I have to make a video. I have to talk about this. It's too harmful to our industry to allow bad actors like this to just walk away scot-free. It is not right. There are too many of us who have been in the trenches working hard for so many years. So the Hawk token, launched on December 4th, 2024, today, by Hailey Welch, the self-styled Hawk Tua girl, is the latest cautionary tale. With an astronomical rise to a $500 million market cap within minutes of its debut. Hold on, that was in minutes, but within 20 minutes, its value plummeted by 90%, leaving investors in financial ruin and raising serious questions about its legitimacy. Opaque tokenomics, celebrity backing, and lack of oversight created the perfect storm for a pump and dump. Beyond Hawk, it examines the broader dangers posed by such projects and the urgent need for accountability in the cryptocurrency industry. This is true. Blockchain analytics reveal that at launch, over 97% of Hawk's total supply was held by a single cluster of wallets. Major red flags with all of this. This extreme centralization went unmentioned in the project's promotional materials. So, purposely obfuscating facts, right? Completely centralized. Held by a small cluster of people. Okay. Yeah, so it was just a concentration of tokens in the hands of insiders. So, I mean, this raises flags and questions of, was there insider trading? This was kind of like by design. It's almost like it's just so opaque and so apparent. Anyway, let's just skip to the warning for the future here at the bottom. The Hawk token saga is a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the cryptocurrency industry, from opaque tokenomics to unaccountable influencers. And it's true, they did the Twitter space and Hailey was like, I'm trying my best here, you guys. I don't really know what I'm doing. There's no accountability. This is exposing systemic issues that allow bad actors to thrive. For investors, the lesson is clear. Skepticism is your best friend. Always research a project's tokenomics, distribution, and governance before investing. The promise of cryptocurrency is too important to squander on scams and speculation. Projects like Hawk may grab headlines, but they ultimately undermine the trust needed to build a truly decentralized and equitable financial system. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Gosh. I'm quote tweeting this. Birchwood. Love it. Well done on this Medium article. Okay, so we went over Bitcoin reaching 100K, the rise and fall of the Hailey Welch. I was live on this space listening. 127,000 people have tuned in to listen to this space. If you're watching this and you haven't listened, I can give you the recap, but it might be worth a listen just so you can see. I don't make content like this. This is not the norm for me. It was just so baffling to see zero accountability, zero empathy, and even deflecting on the listeners and other speakers. Like, You know you're guilty when you can't even look in the mirror. You can't even own the fact that you did damage. You hurt people. And you take it a step further and shift the focus onto someone else. That's bad. That's really bad. All right, so going into this, by the way, shout out to CoffeeZilla. That man, like, I just have so much respect for that man. He came on and I could just feel the energy on the space. Like, you saw clapping emojis going up, thumbs up, like, just brought the space to an entirely different energy because he actually spoke the truth. Some bad actors, please watch out for these accounts. If you're watching this, please, please, please do your due diligence on projects. Know what you're getting into. This is one of the bad actors on the space that, like, those of us listening, it was pretty jaw-dropping, the things that this guy was saying. Number one, he said, everyone in the crypto industry is mentally ill. So he dumps on everybody saying, yeah, you're all mentally ill if you're in this space. Number one. Number two, after a pump and dump scheme went down, a lot of people damaged, a lot of people lost their money today. He says, you should all be kissing my ass. I can't make this up. This man said this on the space today. How completely tone deaf. Doesn't even take accountability, doesn't acknowledge that a lot of people were hurt, a lot of people lost money. And Hailey Welch's team accumulated over $1 million in fees. And thank you, CoffeeZilla, for going up and asking them that question. How much did you make? How much did you make in fees? And he actually looked behind the scenes and was able to see they accumulated over $1 million in fees. And this went to Hailey Welch's Cayman Island Foundation, offshore foundation. And it's kind of just baffling the way that they were dancing around this. They had over here _GG kind of acting as like the red herring, right? Trying to distract you away from everything, just say the same mundane things over and over, not really saying much of anything at all, just kind of going in circles throughout the entire space. And another thing too was as soon as someone started to pull the curtain back just a little bit on the space, they were either muted or booted. They were kicked off from the space or they were muted while they were talking or rudely interrupted. And it was very clear that they were trying to evade any accountability. It was very clear they immediately felt threatened by anyone that just asked simple questions, who wanted to know facts, who wanted the team to be transparent. They were asked how much they've made. They were asked how much Hailey made off of this. And just the cherry on top of all this, and I wasn't the only one to think this, it really sounded like it was a recording of Hailey, right? At the beginning, it sounded odd, I don't know. This whole thing it's kind of upsetting, for those of us who are working really hard in our industry to see these kinds of bad actors pop up. It's like, we've just had enough. We're tired of it. Yeah, and I guess that's all I have to say. Overall, yes, Bitcoin surpassed $100,000 today. There is so much opportunity right now in front of us that this is just a blip. But I think there's a big lesson to learn here. Always be skeptical. Whenever money's involved, there will be people with malicious intentions. So be careful out there. Do your homework, do your due diligence, and stay safe, you guys. We'll see you in the next one.